A bouquet of flowers. A bouquet of flowers. He gives her a bouquet flowers. He gives her a bouquet flowers. A pair of shoes. A pair of shoes. She wears a pair of shoes that match her dress. She wears a pair of shoes that match her dress. A pot of stew. A pot of stew. I cooked a pot of stew for the family. I cooked a pot of stew for the family. A bar of gold. A bar of gold. He finds a bar of gold in the treasure chest. He finds a bar of gold in the treasure chest. A bale of hay. A bale of hay. Farmers store a bale of hay in the barn. Farmers store a bale of hay in the barn. A cup of tea. A cup of tea. I make a cup of coffee for myself. I make a cup of coffee for myself. A rasher of bacon. A rasher of bacon. He fries a rasher of bacon for breakfast. He fries a rasher of bacon for breakfast. A head of cabbage. A head of cabbage. She chops a head of cabbage for the salad. She chops a head of cabbage for the salad. A bulb of garlic. A bulb of garlic. She peels a bulb of garlic for the recipe. She peels a bulb of garlic for the recipe. A head of lettuce. A head of lettuce. She washes a head of lettuce. She washes a head of lettuce. A kernel of corn. A kernel of corn. He peeps a kernel of corn in the microwave. He peeps a kernel of corn in the microwave. A blister pack of pills. A blister pack of pills. She carries a blister pack of pills in her bag. She carries a blister pack of pills in her bag. String of pearls. String of pearls. She wears a string of pearls. She wears a string of pearls. A cluster of bananas. A cluster of bananas. He buys a cluster of bananas. He buys a cluster of bananas. A bundle of firewood. A bundle of firewood. He collects a bundle of firewood. He collects a bundle of firewood. A platter of sushi. A platter of sushi. She orders a platter of sushi. She orders a platter of sushi. A tube of toothpaste. A tube of toothpaste. He squeezes a tube of toothpaste onto his toothbrush. He squeezes a tube of toothpaste onto his toothbrush. A grain of rice. A grain of rice. She picks up a grain of rice with chopsticks. She picks up a grain of rice with chopsticks. A glass of milk. A glass of milk. She pours a glass of milk. She pours a glass of milk. A bar of chocolate. A bar of chocolate. He buys a bar of chocolate. He buys a bar of chocolate. A leaf of basil. A leaf of basil. She adds a leaf of basil to the salad. She adds a leaf of basil to the salad. A vial of perfume. A vial of perfume. She carries a vial perfume. She carries a vial perfume. A roll of tape. A roll of tape. I keep a roll of tape in my drawer. I keep a roll of tape in my drawer. A bucket of popcorn. A bucket of popcorn. I buy a bucket of popcorn at the movie theater. I buy a bucket of popcorn at the movie theater. A crate of oranges. A crate of oranges. She buys a crate of oranges at the market. She buys a crate of oranges at the market. A slice of pizza. A slice of pizza. He eats a slice of pizza for lunch. He eats a slice of pizza for lunch. Pot of tea. Pot of tea. She brews a pot of tea for the guests. She brews a pot of tea for the guests. A jug of milk. A jug of milk. He pours a jug of milk into the cereal. He pours a jug of milk into the cereal. A cup of flour. A cup of flour. She measures a cup of flour for the recipe. She measures a cup of flour for the recipe. A piece of cake. A piece of cake. I enjoy a piece of cake after dinner. I enjoy a piece of cake after dinner. A slice of bread. A slice of bread. She toasts a slice of bread. She toasts a slice of bread. A bottle of water. A bottle of water. He drinks a bottle of water after his workout. He drinks a bottle of water after his workout. A drop of water. A drop of water. I add a drop of water to the mixture. I add a drop of water to the mixture. A scoop of ice cream. A scoop of ice cream. She serves a scoop of ice cream. She serves a scoop of ice cream. A spoonful of syrup. A spoonful of syrup. She takes a spoonful of syrup for her cough. She takes a spoonful of syrup for her cough. A head of broccoli. A head of broccoli. He steams a head of broccoli for dinner. He steams a head of broccoli for dinner. A puff of smoke. A puff of smoke. A puff of smoke rises from the chimney. A puff of smoke rises from the chimney. A spool of spread. A spool of spread. I buy a spool of thread at the craft stores. I buy a spool of thread at the craft stores. A shot of espresso. A shot of espresso. I buy a shot of espresso. I buy a shot of espresso. A packet of sugar. A packet of sugar. He adds a packet of sugar to his coffee. He adds a packet of sugar to his coffee. A loaf of bread. A loaf of bread. She bakes a loaf of bread. She bakes a loaf of bread. A spoonful of sugar. A spoonful of sugar. She adds a spoonful of sugar to her tea. She adds a spoonful of sugar to her tea. A jar of honey. She spreads a jar of honey on her toast. A can of soda. A can of soda. He drinks a can of soda. He drinks a can of soda. A carton of eggs. A carton of eggs. She cracks a carton of eggs for the cake recipe. She cracks a carton of eggs for the cake recipe. A ream of paper. A ream of paper. He needs a ream of paper for the printer. He needs a ream of paper for the printer. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. A stalk of celery. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. A stalk of celery. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. A stalk of celery. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. A stalk of celery. A stalk of celery. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. A sheet of paper. A sheet of paper. I write my notes on a sheet of paper. I write my notes on a sheet of paper. A tray of cookies. A tray of cookies. She decorates a tray of cookies with icing. She decorates a tray of cookies with icing. A bottle of soda. A bottle of soda. He grabs a bottle of soda from the fridge. He grabs a bottle of soda from the fridge. A sprig of parsley. A sprig of parsley. She adds a sprig of parsley to the soup. She adds a sprig of parsley to the soup. A packet of tissues. A packet of tissues. She carries a packet of tissues in his pocket. She carries a packet of tissues in his pocket. A bar of soap. A bar of soap. He washes his hands with a bar of soap. He washes his hands with a bar of soap. A bad of cream. A bad of cream. She applies a bad of cream. She applies a bad of cream. A tank of gas. A tank of gas. He fills up his car with a tank of gas. He fills up his car with a tank of gas. A bunch of wheat. A bunch of wheat. He harvests a bunch of wheat from the field. He harvests a bunch of wheat from the field.